Welcome to Speak with Who You With Curtdog.
Welcome to the show. Let's get this party started.
I'm out.
Hopefully, y'all had a great day today.
I'm out.
It wouldn't be allegedly because he was charged.
Welcome to Speak. I'm out. Welcome to Speak. I'm out.
Why, those must be some good wings.
I'm Who You With Curtdog.
Welcome to Speak On It with Curtdog. I'm Who You With Curtdog. It's Thursday night. Want to welcome everyone on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, Twitter. D Live is always in the house, and also Anchor.fm. Want to welcome y'all to the show. Hopefully, y'all had a great week this week. Been kind of some strange stuff going on, but we made it. It's Thursday. It's Thursday night. My little sister's in the background waiting patiently, trying to see if she's gonna smile at least before she come home, but only if y'all can see what's going on in the background. But anyway, let me bring her in before she hang up on me. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the show, Miss RsKee. So I don't know what's going on with you today.
What? I didn't do nothing.
So how was your week?
I don't know. It's just been interesting. Letting my creative juices flow, so that's going. So
Well, that's a good thing. Back writing and getting everything taken care of. That's a good thing.
yeah,
Um,
I just
so
gotta find my flow and keep it moving.
have you gone into the office all week long?
Pretty much. I didn't go in yesterday, so I had a little. I can watch my shows.
No. Had to catch
But I
up,
went
huh?
in today.
Had to catch up on your show. Want to welcome T Cal to the show. Just tuned in. Say, hey y'all, happy Thursday. Happy Thursday to you. If you just now tuning in, what if you're on YouTube, Twitch, Twitter, D Live, whatever, go ahead and like the shite. Like I said, it's one of those days.
Shatner?
I don't know what happened. Go ahead and share the show, like it, subscribe, do all of that. You know what to do. All the board is up in the house early tonight, and I'm not sure why my microphone keep cutting out, so I'm gonna have a backup just in case. But all the board is in the house. Hey y'all, I'm happy to catch a full show. Yes, ma'am, we are live. And you know my brother from another mother, Radio Chaos, straight out of Canada's in the house. What's going on, Radio? Said Mr. Curtdog, Miss RsKee. Yeah, we live tonight. It's a crazy night, but we here. So, but as you were saying, you said you had to go into work. Everything good on that? No
Yeah,
drama this
people are
week.
just not liking their jobs. They're quitting left and right or getting fired. I was like, he getting it in before the summer gets here. So
Well,
I'm like, what else?
it been kind of crazy for us to. The last 2 days been crazy for my wife and I because we decided to go out to get lunch yesterday, and a lot of places, oh, you got to order from the app because we short-handed.
I hate that because
You and me
they
both.
then when you do that, they only have a limited menu. It's like bar food.
Well, one thing they did was uh, they had a note on the door. Okay, note on the door saying you have to order from the app. So after talking um, with the woman, because I had to download the app, and I hate that because I started getting spam calls and it upset me. But um, I was like, hey, After talking to the woman, she talking about, oh, by the way, our dining room is closed. I'm like, well, that's not what your sign on your door say. And that's definitely not what you told me when I asked you the first question. She was like, yeah, it's closed. I said, oh Lord. So that happened twice yesterday. And I was like, you know what? I'm done. I'm going home, go to bed. So, but man, we have a busy day today, so we got a lot of stories we're gonna try to hit on today. We may not get it to all of them, but we're gonna try to run through it. Radio saying, "Hey, all aboard in TCal." So, couple of stories we're definitely gonna hit on. The sheriff out in Florida, I believe is it Santa Rosa, Florida? I think it is. I'm not sure, but we're
Yes.
gonna talk about that. We're also gonna talk about Tennessee. I know you mentioned it on the show before
Who,
about
me?
them forcing drunk drivers paying child support.
Yeah.
Well, they just passed that law, so we're gonna hit on that a little bit, and also Trevor Reed and little Tuck, uh, Tucker Carlson, um, that old dumb comment that he made. So we're gonna talk about that a little bit, and if we got time, we're gonna talk about your home girl too, uh, Marjorie Green, and hopefully I can play the sound bite from that, which is pretty crazy. Um, we while we talking about her, it's early voting going on, so definitely whatever county you in, get out and vote. Um, my wife and I went and voted yesterday in our county. Um, we went and voted. A lot of them voting on I want to say school board, our local officials, some of the local officials. So definitely get out and vote. Whatever county you in, go vote. Let your voice be heard. Um, so you sent me the story the other day about Sheriff Bob Johnson. Yeah. Now I understand what he's saying. I
Yeah, I mean, I get it too, but now it's like you could be FedEx or Amazon knocking on the door, and then everybody will start shooting and saying, "Oh, well, I thought he was breaking in,"
that see, I'm
because they already have that stand your ground. So, like, this just gives them more license.
okay. I'm from Oak Cliff and Pleasant Grove, East Dallas, up in the house. So we was always taught growing up, somebody breaking your house, you make sure they pass that threshold first.
Hmm.
Then it's open season. But just because someone is trying to attempt to break in your house, do not give you the right to take matters in your own hand because
Yeah.
you're not
So
a threat.
basically, the Florida sheriff is encouraging homeowners to shoot intruders to save the taxpayers' money. So that's, and I mean, we should just cut them off, like, and make them an island. They do some random stuff. Like Looney Tunes was right on the mark with them when they cut them away. They knew then. But yeah, or the sheriff is promoting that, and he stated this on actually. Let's see. I guess what started this off was on April 20th. Um,
They had to do
the,
some work.
the sheriff had started getting calls of a suspicious person in the neighborhood, and the person was I guess in their words, a frequent flyer. Name is Brandon Harris. Um, and Johnson stated that he just couldn't seem to get the picture that crime doesn't pay. So, long story short, I guess this character attempted or broke into somebody's home, um, and the sheriff got a call that shots were fired. And it turned out that the homeowner was firing multiple shots at Harris, as he was trying to break in. So he didn't break in, he was trying to break in. Um, so I guess according to the sheriff, is like, well, Harris would have kept on breaking into homes if he wasn't taken down, so to speak. So it's yeah, I don't know. That's just going to be a slippery slope. Like it's going to be tricky. I think
Well,
that just going to be open season, and everything now is going to be, well, was he breaking in, or was he just checking on something, or did the homeowner just get spooked? Like anything, and people are shooting.
well, the thing is, you have to know your laws. Just because the sheriff is saying to do this does not make it right. Because what he's doing is encouraging people to take matter into their own hands, and they not in danger. And now we've heard I forgot the other sheriff in Florida that talked about the protesters. They should go out and shoot the protesters or whatever. Um, so you have to know the laws. Yes, Florida is a stand your ground state, but if you are not in immediate danger, don't do it, because that law is not going to work for everybody. Look at George Zimmerman. All I'm saying is he got by not because it was the law, because he was not, Trayvon was not a threat to him.
But he got
So
off on it.
he
So,
got off basically because of the color of his skin. We're going to call it like it is.
mhm,
That's the only reason why he got off.
right. And you're going to see a lot more of these because we already talked about how we're the natural born villains, even though they do just as much evil as anybody else. So,
Exactly. Well, that's kind of like maybe a year and a half ago we talked about the best friends went fishing, and a known criminal that had, I think it was over 200 felonies out of Florida,
yeah.
and he ended up killing the friends that was going fishing, ended up killing them, and he never should have been out. If they had followed the law, he never would have been out to be able to commit that murder,
Well, it's not
those
that they
murders.
don't follow the law. I think they just give lenient or sentences to people who look closer to them than they would to somebody who doesn't look like them. And that's the
Exactly.
problem. They need to be consistent. You commit a crime, there should be guidelines. You know, you murder somebody, this is the penalty. If you're drunk driving, this is the penalty. There's no, well, he comes from a good back, good household, or his mom was a part of the PTA. Oh, he's got mental defects. No, none of that. Either you do the crime, you do the time.
Exactly.
Like
And that's
it,
and
it,
that's all
it
to
should
it.
not be these weird like I don't know, just made up laws. Just depend on what who they are.
And that's why we say all the time it's different laws for different people. Um unfortunately that's how it is. But I want to bring up that all the boys said, don't do us, Miss Risky, because Texas isn't far behind. Like my ass. You're right. Texas got some jacked up laws too.
Well,
And
and Texas is always trying to succeed somebody, and we can't even maintain our power grid. Like, like, oh my goodness, it's just crazy.
yeah, uh, we're gonna see how it is this summer when he started talking about doing rolling blackouts again. Don't let Greg Abbott fool you, thinking last year was the first time for a rolling blackout, and then he came back and changed his thought about it, because he said before everything happened, he was like, well, it may be some rolling blackout. Then after it happened, he was like, we didn't authorize that. But you went on the news and
Well,
said
here's
it
the
was going to be
thing:
stuff.
there's a difference between rolling blackouts and just being blacked out, like for weeks or
Well,
for a week. because I'm used to, we've been through rolling blackouts in the summer. No big deal.
Well,
15, 30 minutes max, power's back on.
well, he wasn't smart enough to realize that if you cut off that electricity for any length of time in the middle of an ice storm, you're not going to be able to get it started back up. That's just like when they tell us during the winter when the temperature drop below freezing, they say, "Hey, um, let your faucet drip. That keep the water going through." Just like electricity, you can't cut it off and expect to be able to start it back up and it'll be okay. That's not going to happen. So we
But
have
also,
some.
the other issue is that now our grids are more private. We're not sharing power with everybody else. We could have borrowed power because no other state has this problem. And I'm talking about our northern brothers and sisters. Like, they don't have these kind of problems. It is only Texas where you have people dying. What was it? 122 people died because of the winter storm that shouldn't have. People in their homes frozen solid.
and
Where
and
they do that at?
and I feel that what they should have done, because Greg Abbott is the one that allowed this to happen, they need to file a lawsuit against him because he's the one that gave the okay for it and hold him accountable.
Hmm.
So
But that'll
um,
never happen.
I know it won't. I know it won't because they'll get a check cut under the table. Depends on who they are, allegedly.
I
Um,
mean, ain't doing nothing.
but yeah, that that's why we talk about voting all the time on the show because we don't need leaders like that trying trying to run a state or the country, whatever. We don't need leaders like that. We need somebody who is smart. And I think I'm gonna end up changing the format for a little bit. No, go ahead. I'll do it later because I thought about old Marguerite and I don't have the soundbite pulled up yet. So but yeah, definitely we need to um, get out and vote right now here in Texas and in other states. Um,
Yeah, we need people who are for the people and not for their pockets.
exactly. And
That's
that's
it.
what we have in Texas. Have a lot of people for their own pockets. That's
Yeah.
it. And
And people stealing things from out of other people's pockets, but that's for another day. We'll talk about my family situation later.
yeah. Well, I just seen a alert come across my phone that said some school board asking the wife of the um, school board asking the wife of a school board member a letter demanding over $300,000 back that she unstole. So, so that's why we need to get out and vote because right now
We got
they
a bunch of
voting on
crooks in the
school board,
office.
a bunch of crooks, and they are voting on school boards. So, um, but man, let me catch up on some of these messages. I don't want nobody thinking we just overlooking them. Radio said I thought Florida was a swing state. What's with all
They
these
swinging all
hardcore
right.
law? Huh?
They swinging all right.
Yeah, they swinging.
Between sane and insane.
The reason why the laws are being passed in Florida now that sheriff is not a law. That's what he's telling people to do. It's not Florida law. He just advising people to do that. Then depends on who it is. They'll get off. But if they look like me, they going to jail. Even though he said to do it. But it's not a law. That's why we have to point out this is not a law. Now, if they come in your house, that's one thing. You have every right to protect yourself if they inside your home. But just trying to get in, I'm gonna sit back like a sitting duck. I'm gonna just wait. But as soon as that first toe get in, rockabye, baby. So it's and then on top of that, with Florida governor, just like our governor, they're both planning on running for president in 2024. So they planning on doing that. So that's the reason why they making these type of laws, doing all this, trying to keep their name in the news, trying to please a certain group of people because they know they're about to lose. You going after Disneyland, Disney World, whichever one is over there. That don't make no sense. Um, I believe in Florida, your property starts at the line. I don't know. You in Florida on the board, so I cannot answer that. Um, your property do start at the line, but I'm in Texas. Yeah, wherever your property line is, it do start there. But as for being able to protect yourself from danger, if you're in the house is locked, and that person is not in there, you're not in immediate danger. So just because that's kind of saying that, oh, somebody walked on your grass, they give you a way to shoot them just
Right. So
because
I
they
mean, you
walked across
delivering
your
a
yard.
package or whatever, and sometimes postal services don't. They, I mean, I know I've seen some of them use their personal cars. They haven't, they're not in the UPS, and you come in there with a package and you don't see that they're bringing the package to you and just see it on your property. Like anybody would be like, "Oh, he was on my property. I thought he was stealing. He
Yeah,
was on my
it could
property.
be.
He wasn't in a government car."
Well, it could be a mail carrier because some mail carriers don't have uniforms.
Yeah,
Um,
that's what I'm saying. It's like, you delivering
especially
stuff, they're using their personal vehicles a
yeah,
lot of times to deliver packages or, like just, I mean, I just see that just going, just, I don't know. It's not going to work out. It's
no,
going to be like the OK Corral. I promise you, there's going to be a lot of dead people and we're going to see them on the news more often for what accidental shootings. Oh, I didn't realize.
are they gonna
I
say
thought my life was in
I
danger.
fear for my life?
Yeah, those are key words.
he was wearing a
He's
mask
coming
and
straight at me. I felt threatened. I'm like, yeah, but you're only shooting the dark ones.
exactly. He had a mask on. Yeah. Okay. Um, Florida is a Republican South, and Central Florida is sometimes swing. Mm, well, it's kind of mixed. But I want to say you might be right about that. I don't know. Uh, I don't. Florida is okay, but a couple of times I don't like the weather. Put it like that. And then the governor, what all he's doing, I don't too much cut for that either. Uh, see, this is why I cannot um, read comments before I say them. All the boy talking about Greg Abbott won't rolling blackout like South Africa and India has loaded shedding. That is third world problem. No, when I seen rolling, I thought you was going a different way. So that would just kind of caught me off guard. Yeah, but they doing rolling blackout. I'm like this. Texas don't have nothing but one casino. Most people don't know that. Down in Eagle Pass, Texas, it's a casino. That's the only casino in Texas. Um, it should be casinos all over Texas. Louisiana have them. Oklahoma got them. If you for the people, why you won't bring casinos here and keep some of that
And we're
money in our
losing
state?
so much money to Oklahoma
Exactly.
and Louisiana.
And if you ever go to, I don't know about Louisiana now, but if I know back in the days when I used to go to Louisiana, and um you go up in the parking lot, you see nothing but Texas plates up in there. And that's how it is up in Oklahoma. Texas plates. So I feel like Allegedly, somebody got their hand in a cookie jar. They getting a kickback to keep casinos out of Texas. That's the only thing I could think of. So, um, radio said there was some woman got in a car wreck, didn't have a cell phone at 3 a.m. on a residential street. So she knocked on someone's door to ask if she could use the phone, and the guy living there shot her. That happened to a kid last year. He was on his way to school, missed the school bus, knocked on the door. Now, this is during the day, knocked on the door to ask if he could use his phone, call his parents or something. But the guy came out and shot him. So that's why that sheriff should not be making comments like that. Talking about you should shoot him to save us tax dollars. That's gonna bite him in the butt, and it's gonna hurt when it happens because that should not happen. Um, and he actually been a sheriff for a pretty long time. They should they have stipulation on how long they should be able to be sheriff for? He should be close to retirement anyway. He been with the force since '93 and sheriff since 2016. Um, so hopefully they change the governor in Florida and also change him, get him out of office. So uh, now I know a couple of weeks ago you talked about this on the show. You was like, they should make it where drunk drivers should have to pay child support. Well, your wish have came true.
Yeah, but not for us. But it's a stepping stone.
Yeah, I believe they the first state to do it. I'm not quite sure, but Governor Bill Lee, I believe it is, um, he signed the bill into law that if you are a drunk driver and you kill parents and they have kids, well, guess what? You're gonna have to pay child support for those kids. You have to.
And
So
other states are now considering this legislation. I think it should just be a given. Like, this should be a statewide thing.
yeah,
Because, I mean, again, we've talked about this on the show. To make people feel the effects of something they've done, you got to hit them in the pocket or hit them,
hit them in the pocket.
take something away from them that means something to them. And usually it's money, and it makes you think twice. You won't have these people having suspended licenses and still driving and driving impaired and, you know, being reckless on the roads. It'll make you think, you know. You can sit at the house and drink your beer. Freaking, you can order Total Wines and they will deliver liquor to you. Stay in the house.
And stay home. Stay home.
Take an Uber.
Um, I think I talked about this on the show before when I guess it was back in 2001. I was on my way to work early one morning because I had to be there like at 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning. And I'm coming down the freeway and I'm looking, take this ride all the time, listening to my good gospel music, getting my spirit right. And I look, I'm like, wait a minute, those headlights don't look right. And I said, oh, they on my side of the highway. I pulled over on the shoulder. The guy passed me going faster than the speed limit on the wrong side of the road. I called 911. I'm like, hey, got somebody driving on the wrong side. And by the time I made it to work, they called me back. They called my job and talked to him. And they was like, hey, thank you for calling. We called him. And um, I said, okay. I didn't hear anything else from him for over a year. They called me at work one day. They said, hey, we're going to give you a choice. We need for you to come to court. Either you can volunteer to come, or we could fax over a sermon for you to come to court, or we could have somebody come out there to serve you, to show up at court. I was like, just fax it over. I'll be there. And it was the next day. I had to go in and testify. And kind of find out, I think it was the guy fourth or fifth um, offense. And I'm like,
Like, that's just crazy. Like, come on. Once, okay, I'll give you to you. Two or three, no. You should not
yeah.
have more than that.
I'm like, no.
After that,
So
you need jail time. You need to be, I don't know, but you need to be penalized.
I tried to wait after hearing if I could see what type of time he got, but that thing was going on long and long and long. I said, no, I'm up out of here. So
Mhm.
once I testified, I left. But I
And I
think it's
see it all the time, especially in Louisville. And again, it's like you said, you see something coming straight for you, and you're like, those lights are not supposed to be coming towards me. And it's like, especially because we have like bypasses. So it's like there's, one lane going and one lane coming,
yeah.
and so all of a sudden now you're going and you see some lights coming towards you. And you're like, there's no way for them to turn off because it's a bypass.
Hmm.
And fortunately, everybody stopped to, let him figure out what he was doing, and he ended up turning on a service road or something. I don't know. He could have been in a ditch. I just know he got off the road. Because it's
It's
like there's nowhere to go. Because even if I don't know if he turned it in a hotel, but he drove down far enough to where it was just like, yeah, that's concerning, and
yeah,
I should have stayed in the house.
yeah. I see it a lot myself, but I think some people just don't pay attention to it because this in the middle of the day and you're going down the wrong side of the road. I hope you're not drunk at 10 in the morning. Um,
Yeah,
but
mine
yeah,
was at night, so they had a happy hour.
yeah,
Like I always see it, like, or because I know you frequented Louisville, but remember La Hacienda Ranch,
yeah.
and it's right off the service road 35, and it's tricky to get in, but they have one way in, one way out. Because if you go out the wrong way, you're going the wrong way on the freeway
Mm,
or the service road, and people all the time would exit that restaurant and go southbound on a northbound service road, and you're just seeing headlights. It's like, and if they make it past 121, which is another little highway, they're getting an accident because that's a busy intersection. So
yeah.
yeah, and you see it all the time. I was like, they had the margaritas and got turned around.
Yeah, that's crazy. I've actually, when I drove trucks, I used to see it all the time. Um, I guess probably the one of the worst ones I seen. I was heading down to Houston, and this older guy got on the freeway going the wrong way. He was going northbound on the southbound side, and several cars hit him head on, and it was like the freeway was shut down for a good 10 to 12 hours. It was messed up. Several people lost their lives, and I was like, man. So that was hard. And just so happened my AC went out in my truck that day, and it was summertime. I was like, Lord,
Now I'm trying to figure out because I don't remember if because I think DWIs or whatever, if you're, pulled over for that, they do, you do have a hefty ticket to pay. Isn't it like a few grand or 10,000, like $5,000 or $10,000 for that ticket? So I'm like, how do you have like multiples? I mean, but I guess, people run up $150,000 in tolls without getting caught. So, like, I don't understand how that even gets pushed under the rug. Like, how are they managing this?
yeah, that's kind of hard. I'm like
'Cause
this.
I'm sorry, like, just a regular speeding ticket, I'm gonna be like a few $100. I don't know, because that's substantial. But
exactly.
thousands of dollars for drunk driving, and you have multiples, like that guy you said had 4 or 5. That was his.
He
Is he from
never
a
should have
wealthy
been on the
family?
street.
Like, I'm sorry, I can't give up $5,000, $10,000 for
Exactly.
DWI. I mean,
Welcome
I
to
don't know if that's the number. I just know it's a high, like in the thousands.
it's
Um,
definitely high. Welcome to the show, SAL out of Florida. Yeah, y'all need to vote, get rid of your governor. Uh, but welcome to the show. Thank you for always tuning in and supporting the show. Well, what was it? New Year's Eve down in Deep Ellum, when the guy that was hit, I think he was the Uber driver, and he got hit because he pulled let a passenger out, and he
mhm,
wanted to take a video of the fireworks at
okay.
midnight. And some guy came through and hit him. And later they found this guy. Kind of find out he was a repeat offender of driving drunk. And I think he was supposed to have been getting the breathalyzer put in his car like the next day.
Hmm.
And if they would have done it before they allowed him out, that guy would still be alive today. So
But even people trick that system. They'll just have random people blowing it. You know what I mean? Like, you can
I
always trick the system. To me, hit them in their pockets, penalize them. After the third infraction, you're getting jail time because clearly something is going on.
yeah,
Like, if you can't stop drinking and then driving, you need to be in a program. Like, I think there should be mandatory programs because clearly you got a problem. Stay home and drink.
exactly.
Yeah,
Um,
call some friends over, hang out in your garage or whatever the kids do. I don't know, but there's better ways.
exactly. All the boys said it's better for all parties to not drink and drive. You don't want jail or to hurt someone. Be smart. That's like with me. When I go out with my friends, or they might be drinking, but I'm not drinking nothing.
I'm not gonna do too much. Like I'll have a couple of drinks, but I'm playing poker, and usually you're there for a few hours, so it usually
Yeah,
wears off by then. But I'm not trying to get impaired. I need to be in control of my faculties because first of all, I have trust issues, and second of all, I you know don't do a lot of people.
I feel you. Well,
Like I don't trust their motives. I need to be alert.
exactly. I've always had the motto because back in my younger days, yes, I used to DJ back in the days. So when what if it was at the club, private party, I drink when I first got there. But that last 2 or 3 hours, I wouldn't drink any alcohol. It's time for me to make sure my mind is right before I leave this place. So yeah,
Yeah,
I
all aboard like that theory because and most of the time, drunk person rarely dies. But it's the same theory as like somebody on a plane crash and the person that's sleeping lives and the person who's alert dies is because when you anticipate it you tense up or overcorrect or do whatever, so it's those alert people that are sober that tense up and they die. It's something to do with your muscle control, and of course a drunk person just like la di la and they just kind of go with the flow, so they live just like if you were to be in a plane crash, the person is sleeping, they're not aware of what's going on and they just wake up in the field
so
because they're
so
relaxed.
so
There is some science behind that. I remember reading that somewhere. So
because
I'm,
I'm
I'm
like,
assuming it works the same way with a drunk person because they're all like, you know. And then if you see somebody coming straight on head on, what are you gonna do? You're gonna tense up and probably knock your spine out because you
so
getting hit and you're
so
fighting
you
the
so
turbulence.
so I've been doing it all wrong because I'm like, it's hard for me to sleep on a plane. I have to be extremely tired to sleep on a plane. Now I guess I'm
Yeah, I
just go
take
to
cat
sleep.
naps. I just take cat naps.
I can't even do
Um,
that.
well, international because it's free wine. Like, come on.
Oh,
I lined them up on my thing, and every time I heard the clink, 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 two more. And, wouldn't drink them, take a cat nap, and then you chug them all. They clear it. You go take a nap. 15 minutes later, I'll try the other two. So, yeah, I mean, I need to be alert, but I can take a little cat nap.
my wife, I know we went somewhere. I don't think it was our last Vegas trip, but we went somewhere and I slept the whole way back. I'm talking about I was out of there. They could have they could have took all my little coins off of me because I was out of there. I was like, look, I'm gone. I didn't care. And I said somebody probably videotaped me because I probably was so tired. I probably snored a little bit. So they probably were pissed at me.
And I just Googled the why drunk people are more likely to survive a collision. And it does say that because their reaction time is slower. And so, like
Mm.
I was saying, if you tense up, you're tensing this way, the car's going this way. So you're going against, like they say, when you have to turn into a skid, you're
Yeah.
fighting it. And then drunk people are like, oh, I've been hit. Let me they're not responding like sober people will. So there is a science to that. I mean, it doesn't always happen because I've seen a few where everybody dies in a fiery blaze.
Kind of like out in
But
West
a
Texas,
lot
where
of
they
times,
wasn't drunk, but they
yeah,
was a child was driving, so it had a
yeah,
blowout. If you're just
yeah.
now tuning
It just
in,
it just depends. But usually they just go with the flow. And that's
exactly.
what saves them. And then, like I said, you get a plane crash. Yeah, I mean that's horrible, and it's but that was the science that was out there. Usually, the person who's not alert will survive because they're not tensing up and countering or trying to counter what they're feeling. Because we panic. If you know you're gonna die, you're gonna tense up.
Hmm. Well, we if you're just not tuning in, you are listening to Speak on It. Curtdog. It's Thursday night. My little sister's in the house, Miss RsKee. Yes, we are live. You can chat live with us in the chat. Just like what all aboard is saying. My flight to France, I was out. Doctor prescribed Amber. If we went
Mhm.
down, I would have found out in heaven. Yeah, I'm like,
See, I took a Valium, a half a Valium, and
mm-mm.
then with the wine, but I still, I was relaxed because the flight to Ireland, like, 4 hours max and before I go stir crazy. Like, I have 4 hours. Anything after that, I'm turning into William Shatner in the Twilight Zone. I'm like, there's someone on the wing. Get me off. There's a monster man. That would be me. I would start seeing things and I'm like, I get antsy. But when I went to Ireland, because that's like 10, 11 hours. Um, so yeah, the wine and the Valium helped, and I took my cat naps, and it made it easier to handle. So
Mm.
yeah, you need something. But yeah. Oh, my
Mm.
friend is, I think, going to Kerry County.
Okay.
But yeah, Ireland is absolutely beautiful. Roads are clear, like you won't see any trash, no loose coins, no bugs. Like I'm not like I love outside, but I don't like going outside.
Okay.
There, I liked going outside because I didn't have to swat anything.
Well, say the mosquitoes not waiting out there with a knife and fork and the hot
Like for
sauce.
real. There are black people. There are actually a lot of Korean and Africans over there. Like for real. Like there's a lot. And there are some black people who were born in Ireland with some Irish accents that'll mess up your whole life. You just like, wait, what? Wait, that's Irish. Like they speak with the little Irish brogue and everything. Yeah, it's like us, like the United States. It's a melting pot. Like
Mm,
people traveled everywhere, just like there are Black Russians up there. It's a small percentage, but they do exist.
yeah.
So wherever those boats landed, or wherever people migrate to after the fact, you know, we're everywhere.
Now,
But yeah, everybody was nice. They are not very PC, so just be warned. You may hear some jokes that here would not they would get canceled right away because they don't care. They're just drinking and want to have fun, and will tell you an off-color joke in a minute. Not necessarily racist, but they will tell some inappropriate jokes, whether
so
it be
wear your tough
women or
skin.
gays, huh?
Wear your tough skin
Like
on the
for real,
board.
yeah. I mean, not directed at you personally, but you'd be like, I mean, it's funny, but I don't think I should be laughing at this. And that's if you can understand them. But yeah, I love it. I want to go back because I there's a few more places I would like to visit because I think we visited like 3 counties.
Okay.
So, and they're gorgeous, and the castles are amazing.
Well, next year we're making plans to go to Greece. Yeah.
I want to go all through the Mediterranean.
You want to? It's going to be a group of us. We'll talk about it later.
All right, I'll
Um,
think about it. Yes.
I'm,
Wait, when?
we're looking at probably the end of May or the 1st of June of next year.
Oh, okay, next year. I may have some money then.
Well, that's why we booking ahead of time because you know how some of us do. Oh yeah, I want to go. I want to go, but then when it's
You got
time
to
to
do a
put out that
layaway plan.
yeah, when it's time to put out that money, they be like, my light bill is due, but you had a whole year to pay for it.
No, me, I'm like, I'll take a trip, and then I'm like, you know what? I can float that bill. I'll just call them and tell them it's late
Hmm.
because I'm going on vacation
Yeah.
for my mental
So
health.
right now, I think it's probably close to 15 of us saying they want to go, and it may be it's going to be more than that too. So it may be a group of maybe 20, 25 people going. So that would be real good. Uh radio giving giving red flags. Watch out for the bar scams in Greece. I'm 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 kind of picky about going to depends on where I'm at. Out of the country, I'm kind of picky about going to bars because I
Oh,
don't.
those are, but yeah, but sometimes that's the best place to get intel on where to go. Because if we hadn't ended up at this one bar, we wouldn't have known about this pub. It was like an authentic Irish pub, and it was amazing. Now, I wouldn't have gone to the restroom in that place because I was like, why is the restroom upstairs and to the left in this dark hallway? So yeah, I mean their layouts are sometimes weird. It makes no sense, but it's amazing. But
Well,
like
I'm all
like
for it,
even here, just be aware of your surroundings and watch your drinks.
but
And going back to all aboard, if you can, when you go there, take a tour to the cliffs of Moher. Um, Absolutely stunning place. It's beautiful, and it's only 2 hours away from like that county, Kerry County. We went through like all over Ireland, so yeah, we covered pretty much the whole country.
radio said it's co-ed bathrooms in Europe. You know, believe it or not, they have some here in Dallas.
Yeah,
Uh, depends on where you are, because
yeah, I
I
have no
went.
problems with that because usually they have full doors.
Yeah, they have different doors.
Yeah,
Matter
it's
of
like
fact,
full closet doors, so it goes all the way to the bottom. It's not this where you can see through the cracks. So you're
yeah.
pretty secure. It goes all the way to the floor and all the way to the ceiling.
Matter of fact, we went to um, uh, Ice Cube and Snoop concert last month, and I hate to say it,
Oh Lord.
I've seen Ice Cube in concert before, and he's great. He's great. First time seeing Snoop, and I don't know for sure, but they kept having problems with the sounds, and I'm like, is he lip singing? Because you can only hear him at the end of the song, and I'm like, is he lip singing? I don't know. But we left early. We left early because we was disappointed in it. And then going to the restroom. Speaking of co-ed restroom, this was not a co-ed restroom, but we had a lot of women going into our restroom to use the restroom.
Because there's always a line. Listen, I'm sorry. I'm a tiptoe through the men's because y'all don't know how to aim. And I had to do that one time, go to the men's restroom because the men were using the women's, and I was like, well, I'll go through there, and I had to do like yoga positions to make sure I didn't step in anything and hit anything that I wasn't supposed to hit. It's
Uh,
traumatizing.
oh wow,
Yeah, that's crazy, doodle.
yeah, that's gangster.
Like
See,
for real. That's how they get the tourists. They were like, listen, I ain't got that many euros. That's
I only
what
had 20 on me.
450. That's $430 US.
Oh no. You see, that's why I don't visit bars in other countries. I take that back. I did do it in Aruba because we
Well,
had
and then also you have to do your research before you go, like because we did a thorough research, and like I said, we didn't go to hole in the walls. So
those
it,
the best clubs sometimes.
no, I ain't doing that. Like
I'm not. I'm saying in the
if I had
U.S. Not.
a security, then yes. But I was with my little gay friend, and I would have had to fight for the both of us, and I didn't want to get in that situation. So you got to know who you're traveling with and where you can go.
Well,
Like we
that's
were already in the
understandable.
streets at all hours of the night, and I was surprised I didn't see any homeless people in Ireland. So apparently they do something with them because I think we saw one, but he looked like he was taken care of.
That's why I'm finna say they probably taking care of them because
Yeah,
unlike us,
yeah. I
no matter
mean,
what city you go to, you're gonna see a lot of homeless people. And
yeah,
but we have enough money to send 30 billion
1.7 trillion dollars
to another
over there.
country over the next 5 months.
And then what did they send to the Middle East after our wars and stuff? Like
But you're not taking care of home.
at all.
Some
Like
don't
we
add
always
up.
meddling in other people's affairs, and but again, it's all about that dollar and lining their pockets. They're making relationships over there because it benefits them when they're no longer in office.
Yeah, and that's kind of like
Yeah.
um so my wife and I we went out grabbed something to eat earlier, and then since she got to go to work tomorrow, so went and filled up her car, and she used nothing but premium. Now the last time I filled up at the station, I paid 3.61 a gallon. Now they up to 3.95.
Yeah, it's almost $4.
Premium 4.45. And I'm like, and then they had the nerve to say, one of the workers talking about, I was gonna tell you we don't have nothing but premium, but it looked like in that car, that's all you're gonna put in there anyway. I said, yeah, that's all we use in this car. Mine's unleaded, but I asked my wife, I think it was last week, week before or something. I said, you know what? It's just kind of curious because we don't know the difference in the fuel they putting in there.
I mean,
They
depending on the
might.
gas station, it could be watered down anyway. Because I had a coworker, and this was last year. Was it last year? Because it was during the whole COVID thing, and something happened where gas was scarce, and so she filled up, and she ended up like her car started doing weird things, and she had to take it in service. They said that she had too much water in her tank. So they were watering down their gas and totally messed up her whole her system. And she was so pissed. And I was like, yeah, like you never get gas from this place. I'm not going to name the place, but your car would be like sputtering on the road if you get
Exactly.
this cheap gas. So yeah, stick with, red or blue signs.
See,
No,
that's why I
not
don't
the
be
not
reading
the
the
red.
comments.
It's blue and white signs. Those are the good gas.
Well,
But if
I
it's
think
red or yellow, stay away.
now what your friend could have done, whatever station she got the gas from, she could have went back there. They would have
Oh, I'm
paid for
sure
the
she did.
repairs.
This is the girl who writes letters to everybody and gives free stuff.
Okay.
You
Now,
know,
now, as for this place, I'm like, because last time we filled the car up, I was like, you know what, that gas man probably over there putting regular unleaded in all of them and just charging that premium price. And the
but
worker told
also
me
they
today,
charge. They're in control of the pricing. It's not set like the government has no involvement in that. They can
yeah,
hike up the price to $15 a gallon, and there's nothing we could do about it
was shut
unless the
down.
government says, no price gouging. But they're not doing that because at the end of the day, most of them get kickbacks from oil and gas companies. So get a little extra cash.
I'm
So,
like,
and we got a
well,
surplus. Like we have our own refineries. We don't need to go over there. Like there's no reason for us to have this, hike in gas prices.
yeah, because after I filled the car up, I was like, I don't understand. Why are we no, I was talking to a friend today and he owned trucks and he was like, man, these are almost $5 a gallon again. I said, yeah, I know. I said, what I can't understand, why are we depending on other countries to provide fuel for us?
But we only get like 2% of our oil and gas from over there. We have our own refineries and stuff.
Cut them off.
Texas alone, like we could. And then I remember when I don't know if it was a hurricane or something, and everybody was trying to get, gas and trying to find it. And we were told we have a surplus of at least 10 years, so there should not be any price gouging. Like we have enough gas and fuel. So what the problem is? We still have it. Like we haven't used up what we had, and we have refineries here in the
Exactly.
good US of A. So 2% over there, that does not affect us.
Sure don't. Now, I've been having a message up there for a while. Like all the boys say, if it's your first time watching the show, please take the time out to like, share, subscribe, tell a friend we are live, and you can chat with us in the chat room. I know a lot of people when they first come in, they don't like to chat in the chat room.
You like to
Everybody is
watch the
welcome
little
here.
voyeurs.
We're all family here. Yeah, put your city in the chat room. Let us know where you're calling from. We got Radio Chaos out of Canada. Have all aboard from Florida. SAL from Florida. Let us know where you're from. Now, now, radio. I started laughing when I seen this. Now, if they made cars that could run off of Mad Dog 2020,
You would never see Mad Dog.
it'll be too high.
Right. You would never
It'll
see it.
be
It would
too
never be
high.
the $1.50 that is worth. But also remember I mean, I don't know if this is true or not, but I remember when there were these guys who created an engine that can run off of like oil, like just old grease from the fryers. Like they were going to different restaurants and helping them
You
clean
know
out
what?
their oil. Well, somebody took it and we don't see it anymore because you know why? You make more money gouging for people, using oil and gas, not just stuff you can get at the grocery store for a buck 50. They don't want to make it easy on us. They want to gouge us for everything they can. And that's the
Exactly.
problem. And then I think at one point somebody had something, it ran off of like corn or something. And word on the street, they ended up mysteriously dying. But yeah, they don't like when you do something to help the common people.
Which is crazy. We all in this together. Sal says she from St. Augustine, Florida. All right. Just like Sal says, hey, represent your hood. Where you at? I'm in Dallas. Oak Cliff is my hood. Um, but yeah, most definitely. No matter where you listen, everybody is welcome here. We may not have the same opinion, but everybody have a voice. So definitely represent where you're from. Um, Man, time is going by quick, and we only halfway through.
Halfway. No, we just got what?
Two
It's more than
more.
that.
No, we only did two stories. Sheriff
Yeah,
Bob
but
in
half. Oh, you
Tennessee.
mean halfway through our stories, not time wise.
Oh yeah, yeah. That's why I'm like,
I'm
oh,
thinking time, and I was like, no, that's
okay,
more than halfway through.
okay.
That's that
Well,
common core math.
well, let's talk about Trevor Reed. I know we talked about it a couple of weeks ago. And I think I
Yeah.
heard him. I thought I heard him getting up on the helicopter saying, "Free at last, free at last." Thank God Almighty, I'm free at last. But I'm gonna
So
let you
yeah,
handle this story.
basically, what was it? This was the guy who committed a crime in Russia in 2019. He assaulted police officers after a night of drinking. Um, he was sentenced to what, 9 years? 9
9 years.
years in prison over there. The government didn't like that one of our soldiers was being, in a Russian prison because I guess their prisons are like they don't care about people because it's a prison. So they traded him. They did like a prisoner exchange. So I guess the son was flown from Russia to Turkey, where he was exchanged on a tarmac for Konstantin Yuroshiko, a Russian pilot who was serving 20 years in a federal prison in Connecticut.
But
They
drug
described it
traffic.
as like a scene in like those movies where they do a prisoner exchange. You just walk straight past each other, and then once you have your person, you haul out of there. So that's essentially what they did. So that's, I guess that's real. I thought movies were exaggerating when they did that, but yeah, that's exactly what happened. But on the flip side, Brittany Griner is still in a Russia prison or Russian jail. So now they're talking about trying to do a prisoner swap for her since she was found. She was only found like she didn't commit like a felony. Well, I don't
No,
know what
she
a
go to
felony
court
is.
on the 19th.
She has some hemp oil, which is illegal over there. They classified her as like a drug trafficker, even though it was like medicinal. But again, it's a legal substance. So like in that case, it's like let her go.
Yeah, but think about it. Now that pilot that was in Connecticut on a 20-year bid, he was arrested for drug trafficking. Okay, let's go on to the next one because I'm gonna leave that alone. I see that's what I don't get. People say one thing, but then they justify something else. The same thing, all about the color of your skin. Unfortunately,
I wasn't gonna say it, but I'm just saying.
unfortunately, that's what it's all about. They wanted to do a
And he was
prisoners
actually
exchange.
trafficking, and she was just like trying to relieve her joints.
And think about it. She was trying to get out of there before the war started. She didn't want to, she done paid all that money to get it. You don't want to leave your good up in there.
But again, yeah, well, I mean, and it's probably one of those things she didn't even think about. You know what I mean? Like she just thought it was just a part of her, net. She's, probably rubbed it on her
Well,
joints to make her feel better and didn't think about it.
no, I want
And in a war situation, you just packing up stuff and you hauling butt out. You
true.
don't think about it. You know what I
Well,
mean? Like it's a lot of things going on.
but let me ask this question though. And we talked about this on the show before, and I'm just trying to make sure I understand this right. Now, she was over there playing basketball, right?
Yeah, many times, as she has many, many times for many
Okay.
years.
But hold on, follow me real quick.
Hmm.
Now, we talked about during the last Olympic that some Russia chick was they wanted to ban her for using illegal substance because she failed the drug test for the Olympics, right? And they still
Hmm.
allowed her to perform. But the young sister here out of Oak Cliff, Texas, um, they banned her from being able to participate. I'm just trying to get this understanding. So, sound like to me, Russia don't care if their athletes get tested for drugs or not. I'm just trying to
Well, they
understand it.
skate. I mean, that's why they had to change their name. They couldn't participate under the Russian flag, and they created the Republic of something, ROC, um, or Rush. I don't know. I don't even know what it stood for. It was Russian something, but everybody knew it was Russia. So it's like they have all these aliases because all their participants and Olympians, they're always dosing. Like they always skate the laws when it benefits them, but when other people are, maybe using it for medicinal usage, oh, you get 20 years, 10, 20 years. No exceptions. But they do it all the time. So it's
Yeah,
like, come on now, listen, you can't
equal
knock
laws
somebody for
across
doing
the
the
board.
same, doing something that y'all have been doing for decades. That's why they keep getting banned. So
Well,
it'd be interesting to see what they come back as for the next Olympics. Maybe like they'll have the Prince symbol, the artist formerly known as Russia.
he probably is. I could have swore I seen him riding the horse with no shirt, but I seen another photo of him riding a or a video or something him riding a bear or something with no shirt on.
But did you hear recently they're saying that Putin may have a illness because like he's on video and you see his hand like shaking. So he's got something going on, some neuroses too. I think his nerve and is doing something to his brain because uh, he's doing way too much and he needs to stop.
So do you think that's the reason why he started this unjust war? Because he's
I
like,
mean,
I'm
there's
about
no
to check
reason
you out.
for
I
it
don't care about nobody.
because there's no reason for it. Like he literally just out of the blue, let's just evade Ukraine. So there's got to be some kind of dementia or something going on there, because even people over there are saying, yeah, he's hasn't been well for a minute, and but they can't do anything because they'll end up missing, swimming
And
with the
he keep
fishes.
see he keep making these threats talking about the country to the west of them need to stay out of it, don't provide no help for them. And I'm like, this this dude is crazy. Um
Yeah, but
so I'm
I think he was directing that towards the Americas.
basically
We always
it's
button in.
instead of just coming out and saying it, but
He
here
didn't
it
have to.
is.
We knew we read the we read between the lines, but we
Yeah.
still in their business. 'Cause
And
that's
we're
what we do.
still
Protecting
sending
their investments.
$30 million for the next 5 months over there too. I'm like, I don't understand it. Uh, these student loans ain't no joke. The people still out here struggling, trying to decide between gas and food. If
Like for
y'all see,
real.
if y'all see me on a sign talking about, uh, I need gas money, you know why? Because
No, I
gas is
saw
high.
some dude the other day coming home and he ran out of gas. Fortunately, he was just across the way from a gas station. He didn't quite make it. He has a little gas thingy, and I'm just like, times are hard. Like, I haven't seen people run out of gas in a minute.
Well, I read a story last week. This woman in Tennessee, she ran out of gas too, coming over from Tennessee to Arkansas, that bridge. But she had a whole bunch of killer off in there and a whole bunch of cash. So it was no, and they said it was absolutely no reason why she should have ran out of gas. Had a truck full of drugs and a
Like,
whole
for
bunch of
real.
money.
Like, every half or a quarter, you top it off. Don't ever let it get all the way empty because ain't nobody
She
trying to
might been
spend.
scared. She might been scared to stop in Memphis though, and in Tennessee coming. She was coming across the bridge, and she might have been scared to stop, but still,
I
eh,
mean, was she?
nah, she wasn't. She was.
Then why
She
was
was.
she scared to go? Girl, top it off. When
Oh
every
no,
quarter,
no, she wasn't. She was George Zimmerman cousin. So,
yeah, yeah. Well,
and
those
I
are
said,
kind of tricky. They it just depends on the time of the day. But
well,
still, top it off. Don't run it to E. Don't do anything. You see a gas station, you need to top it off and then go.
top it
Don't stop on the road and
and
then all of
drive
a
the
sudden
speed
Bubba
limit.
Ray got a canine unit going crazy in the back. Like that would be my luck. It'd be like the one day
I'd be
that a
paranoid.
canine unit. Yeah, ain't nobody got time for that.
Now, the only reason why she got caught because she stopped on this bridge. Of course, the state trooper came. She was walking back to the car, and when she opened up the car, the strong smell of Mary Jane came out, which gave them proper cause to search the car. She had all these boxes in her, like she was moving, and it was all full of weed. I'm
Of
like,
course.
okay. But I'm like, oh well. Um, we still have a couple of
Any
let
Because
me
I know
see.
you want to talk to about your cousin Tucker.
Yeah, let me
I don't
pull
know
up this.
what's going on with him. What happened? What's the story on him?
Well, I had sent it to you, but
Oh, did
um,
you? When
yeah,
and where?
this actually came out um earlier this week. I sent it to you. Where
No, earlier in the week.
yeah, I know, but News One actually came out with the story. Said Tucker Carlson. Now this is the title of it. Oh, Tuck Carlson. Think black people are dying in car accident because cops won't pull us over for fear of being called racist.
Say it again.
Exactly. Tucker Carlson, little tink tink, tuck, whatever you want to call him.
Nah, I
Think
call him
black
nothing.
people think black people are dying in car accidents because cops won't pull us over for fear of being called racist. Yeah. I said boy, they just need to snatch his card from him. He went on live air to share a theory with his viewers about why traffic accident death rose in 2020 and why black people were disproportion represented in those deaths. Um, they said,
Okay, let me. I just stumbled upon this Jim because I had to look up the his story, but somebody wrote, and this is from Race Matters, news1.com. And it says, at this point, it's pretty clear that Tucker Carlson wakes up every morning after a long night of sexually frustrated wet dreams about sexy Eminem cartoons and Cardi B's WAP, and he just lays in bed for a while thinking about all the ways he can play the race card while accusing black people of playing the race card.
I was getting ready to read that, but you stopped me. But the way you did it, it sound better because I would have laughed throughout the whole thing.
I was like, wow,
Maybe
that
we
was a mouthful and hilarious.
maybe we need to start up a GoFundMe for Tuck Tuck. Get him
No,
a
he got enough kickbacks. So he got his
uh,
million and all the illegal
get him
sex.
get him a a, a black
Get him one of them sex dolls. We can do a
one of the
GoFundMe. Get
doors.
him one of them. What are those real life sex dolls?
Yeah, have him look like whoever you want it to be. Whoever
Mhm.
you fantasizing about, we'll hook you up, get one for you, because you need to go sit down somewhere. Something you need to do something, but you need to get off the air. That let's start there. Take him off the air. It's time to cancel his show. Take him off there and let's move on from him because I'm like, you gotta be kidding. Little tuck tuck. Boy, I not a shocker. Um, not a shocker at all. Little tuck tuck. Little tuck tuck.
See, we can
Tuck
get him
tuck.
a cute little thing, little doll, Willow 2.0. She cute.
Little
I don't
tuck
know how
tuck.
much she is. They start
Boy,
at like three. Oh, you can customize them. I remember. I think they
listen,
start base at like 2,500, and then they go up from there. And then they have different inserts, like if you for different portals.
tuck tuck. Whatever your
So
fantasy
I know
is.
all this because before this podcast, I was on another podcast, and we were actually going to interview the real dolls company, and they were going to give us and you can customize it and pay a small the price of a Kia. You get you a pretty lifelike
Well,
thing
it depends on what type of
to
kill you're
play with.
talking about, because some kills you
Well,
could get for
listen,
about six or
considering
seven
it,
thousand.
well, thinking about the sex industry, you go from a fleshlight to something that actually looks like a human doll. You're still going to come out okay with the cheap base model Kia and the upgrade. Either you want this or you want that.
The tuck tuck. Yeah, maybe
Like for
that's
real.
this problem. He ain't been tucking lately.
Or maybe he's doing too much tucking.
Might be.
I went down a rabbit hole. I started looking up the.
Uh-oh. Why you find something you finna talk about, or do you want me to go and do what I was finna
Well,
finna
I
listen?
would share, but they're naked.
Oh,
Because I was gonna show some customization, and I'm just seeing like because I can't remember all the stuff you can do. Oh, okay. So like this one, Tanya, she starts. She is petite, light tan. If you want the head only, you can get the head only. Full body, four
that's a
thousand
loose
dollars.
cannon. That's a loose cannon right
Well,
there.
again, all you need is a hole, and as they say, any hole is a goal. Like I knew somebody who stuck it in a tree. I'm just saying. Option totals are 150. Grand total, like I guess if you get all the types of things
Oh, the belt.
with
You
the
get the cat back
vaginal
of it.
styles. Ooh, you can. Oh,
So you saying you could get the Bentley or the Rolls Royce style?
yeah, and you can pick your own parts on what you want it to look like. Hair color, makeup style, breast options. So if you want like larger breasts, you're gonna add on an extra $850. You can do custom nipples, color, the vaginal inserts, and stuff. They got Bluetooth inserts.
Huh?
I don't even know how that would work. Like feel like I need to Google
Uh-uh. We don't have that much time. No. We don't
I'm
have
gonna
that much time.
screenshot this so I won't forget. But like I said, you can customize what you want the lower regions to look like. Extra inserts if you want all the portals available for you. Oh, and then they have hairstyles.
Uh, and on to the next story,
Yeah,
because
I don't think
see,
you had any other story because
she
we
gonna
towards the.
deep down in that rabbit hole, so we're not gonna
I
even
did
come
real
back.
dog.
Come back. Walk to the light and come to the light.
Even
You'll
though they're
be
not a
okay.
sponsor, realdoll.com. You won't regret it. Like just
I'm good. So um
Lord.
we talk about voting quite a bit on this show,
Mhm.
and I'm gonna play this clip.
Oh, this one blinks.
You still put your phone down.
No, I was putting it down and then I saw her eyes move and I thought I was tripping. And I was
What
like,
the heck?
oh, yeah, we
See,
can't have you moving.
see, that's
They're
way
taking
too
over.
much.
Yeah, they talking.
Oh hell no, can't do that. Um, yeah, can't do that. But tut tuck, pull it up. Apparently, you need one. You
Yeah,
can get it made however you
I'm
want.
sure that's in the budget. You can rearrange some funds to get you one.
Exactly. Um, we talk about voting quite a bit on this show, and this soundbite I'm gonna play, courtesy of the Lincoln Projects. Um, it explained the reason why we need to do our homework on our elected officials. Now, right now, Marjorie Green had been lawsuits filed against her for she cannot run for re-election, which she shouldn't be able to after January 6th. And after all the false lies she's been spreading about COVID and everything else. Now, she's also um, talk about critical race theories quite a bit. But I'm going to play this soundbite. And I'll probably play it twice just for y'all can hear it. Because the first time you're going to be like, what she say? And you're gonna have to hear it again. So I'm gonna play it twice. Let me see if it's gonna cooperate with me. Make sure I got everything. Do like I did.
Now,
Oh,
From your studies, the Declaration of Independence refers to King George as a tyrant, right? I'm sure it may say that somewhere in the history books. I don't have the history books in front of me, and I don't know which one you're referring to. But well, I'm referring to the Declaration of Independence. That's the one that says that King George was a tyrant, unfit to be a ruler of a free people. Are you quoting the Declaration? Yes. Okay. Well, you'll accept that from me, won't you? If you're quoting it. Okay. And this, from your studies, the Declaration of Independence refers to King George as a tyrant, right? I'm sure it may say that somewhere in the history books. I don't have the history books in front of me, and I don't know which one you're referring to. But well, I'm referring to the Declaration of Independence. That's the one that says that King George was a tyrant, unfit to be a ruler of a free people. Are you quoting the Declaration? Yes. Okay. Well, you'll accept that from me, won't you? If you're quoting it. Okay. And
now that's a elected official, and she talk about critical race theory quite a bit. Don't want it taught. That's another reason why history should be taught in the school, the real history of America. Um, and she's telling him, if you quoting it, I guess so. That's kind of like when Trump said that the election was stolen. I guess so. He's saying it's stolen. He's the president. You have to learn for yourself. And with her,
get spoon fed information because you can get a lot of extra commentary that and opinions and that have nothing to do with the actual laws and what's going on in the world. You got to take it in for yourself, read, and get your own ideas.
Well, that bit came from her testifying why she should be allowed to run for re-election again. They like, no. I believe she lost that bid, which she should have. But if for some reason she found a loophole to get in it, Georgia, y'all need to stand up. Need to stand up and do what you have to do. Um, Not just Georgia, but all over this country. Let your voice be heard. Get out and vote. Right now, early election is going on. Um, some have school boards, city council. Get out and vote. Let your voice be heard. Do not depend on your neighbor to go out and vote and get it passed. You need to do it yourself. That's just like on the um, they voting for golly, I forgot what it was, but we only had a couple of things on ours that we was voting for, and one was talking about the taxes. Um, so you need to get out and vote. Every county is different. Get out and vote. Every election is important. I don't care if they voting on a dog park or somebody picking up cow manure. Doesn't matter. Get out and vote. Get out and vote. Let your voice be heard because you can make a difference. You can change what's going on in this world. And the reason why Greg Abbott and all these other governors are trying to change the way that we vote from um mail-in ballots to closing down polling place because they're trying to make it hard to vote. And then you have people saying they vote don't count. The only way your vote don't count if you don't get out and vote yourself. That's the only way it don't count. And if you are a felony or have a felony and you have paid your dues, you done your time in jail, you off papers, whatever state you are in, you may be able to get your voting rights back. Go to vote.org and find out. And it don't cost anything to do it. You can have it in 30 seconds once you get on the website if you could get your rights back to vote. So definitely let your voice be heard. Um, Man, this has been a short show, but a good show.
Short.
Well, time flies when you're having a good time. Time flies. So um it went by quick, and let the people know where they can find you.
Well, I won't
Besides
be in
what
the
you sent me.
street.
Besides what you just sent me, but uh
But no, you can follow me on most social media platforms at RsKee. I live on Instagram. I'm trying to have a presence on TikTok, Twitter. If you want to send a message to me by email, a story you want us to follow up on, or just to say hi, rskee@yahoo.com, or you can check out my works on RsKeeBooks.com.
there you go. And as for me, I'm trying to get better, but hit me up on Instagram or TikTok, Facebook. You can send me a message, but please don't send me a message like somebody did yesterday. Hey, I have a favor to ask you. I told my wife this is spam. I said, what? What you need? Uh, I need to send a code. Instagram asking me to find a friend that can get a code for me to unlock my account. I just block them, report them, got off of it. So, other than that, be safe, get out and vote. We love each and every one of you. Please continue to protect yourself because the COVID numbers are going up. Regardless of what they say, it's going up. They don't talk about it. It's going up. Protect yourself. Until next time, we love each and every one of you. Peace.